a very good evening to each and every one of you joining us for this week's episode of Your Manchester. Hello, Flower!
Hello! Finally, we're back in the studio. Forgive us if we are extremely giddy tonight because I haven't seen you in ages this close.
How have you been?
I've missed you. I've really, really missed you. And definitely now that we're together, socially distanced, it's all marked out.
I'm finding it worse, though. I'm finding it worse because now that you're here, all I want to do is cuddle you.
I know.
And we're at separate sides of the studio.
We didn't even elbow.
No, we didn't even do it.
We didn't do that. We didn't do that.
We've logistically negotiated our way around the mirror, everybody. Yeah. That's the way we've worked that. And
you got your hand gel out?
I've got my hand gel. I don't know where that's gone, but
I hid it because it didn't do anything for the feng shui. But I just said it's like a night out. This is like my first night out in 13 weeks, and as a mum of two.
It's a bit freaky, isn't it? I'm close, though. Be honest now that they're not here. Are you glad for a bit of away time?
I'm glad for a little bit of adult time, having spent the afternoon doing an adventure game where I had to pretend to be in a rocket, and it was actually my 5-year-old's bedroom. So yes, it's good to be here and good to be back with you. Oh, but yes. I have to say,
yes,
I have brought something that I have been glued to for the past 13 weeks.
I'm scared. Go on, explain. Well, what is it?
Well, I can't go anywhere without these on.
They're rather special, aren't they?
Well, I usually wear them.
Yes.
Actually, for the past 13 weeks with the broadcast, it's never usually fancy shoes.
Well, I'll show you what I've been wearing then, because a lot of people will have expected me to be sat behind my lovely kitchen table with my full, wonderful dance skin tights on and my lovely high heels. However, I thought we'd share what I've actually had. So these are what I've been sat behind that table in.
Do you know what? You always have to outdo me. Look at that.
Yours are nicer. Yours proper hooks as well and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
The Primani. Oh, and that's opened as well this week.
That's open. We're kind of getting back to normal just a little bit, aren't we?
Fingers crossed.
Have you managed to get to the shops yet at all?
I haven't. I haven't raced the shops. I have done the old supermarket shop and all that jazz, but I've done it all on internet. So I'm quite used to that right now.
And now the shops are open. How are you feeling about going there? I'm apprehensive.
A little bit. I mean, I haven't got a face mask yet.
Right.
So it literally, do you know when I'm out and about, it's kind of, I've got like disposable ones, but not like a proper one, which I am going to invest in when I go out and about a little bit more.
Well, you know we've got our own available, don't you?
Well, we have got our own available, but I haven't got my mitts on them yet because as soon as they come in, they fly out again. And I've only seen you face to face tonight.
This is true. We are selling them rapidly. They are only 12 quid, everybody, and they are printed with mine and Michelle's face on. And why not? Because we have branded everything now. As you can see, we've got a new collection of mugs, everybody. These are also available, everybody. Plug, plug, plug. It's all about the merch.
It's like a shopping channel.
These are all available, and we've got a certain amount of these. These are available for just $8.99, everybody. So if you want one of them, just drop us a DM. And I'm also selling myself, because if anybody wants to get to me, you're more than welcome to. No problem.
You're not going to get much for that, though, are you?
No, probably the last refund, to be completely honest with you. Now, we must just talk about the fact that the football is back.
Yes.
Yes.
In fact, that is the reason I managed to get out of the house without any qualms tonight.
Right.
Because I did think, I was saying to my husband, I'm going out of the house for the first time. You've got the kids. And then it was like, oh, fine. And I thought, why? Yeah, the football is back on the telly. So, in fact, I think it's kicking off right now, but it's not a good match.
Right.
City.
Oh, is it? You're a red, aren't you?
Well, please.
Whereas I'm just grateful for the changing rooms. Now, we've got loads of guests lined up for you today, everybody. We really, really have got so many guests. And they are coming in rapidly today. So let's just scoot over to our other little camera over here, everybody, and see how we're fully getting on. Here we are then, everybody. This is another camera. Oh, yes, we're fully fluent. We've got our background and everything, haven't we?
Do you know what? I'm loving the background as well, because obviously we are your Manchester, so it just seems fitting that we have our beautiful skyline. And I've missed the skyline coming through Manchester in my car as much as it was deserted. Oh, we have a beautiful city.
It's not so much a skyline anymore as a group of scaffolding.
It is. I have to say that there's a lot of buildings work that has halted, and a lot of scaffolding going up and stuff. You've been doing pole dancing with that.
I've been doing pole dancing. I don't know if that was his nationality, but anyway. So yes,
I've missed you.
We are 2 meters apart, everybody. I must just say we look closer than what we actually are. but we are 2 meters apart. We haven't measured it. You can't see the floor, but there is a direct cross on that floor that is measured it. And of course, we don't look that far apart, and that's why I'm really not as big as what people think I am, everybody. So it's true. Now, on the show today, we have got loads of guests for you. If we start laughing throughout our first show,
I know. No, we've got a plethora of guests. Obviously, they aren't in the studio with us because we're not allowed right now. But do you know what? The next best thing, they are coming live from their individual rooms. Who have we got?
So today we have got the wonderful Paul Wheeler, everybody. He's going to be talking all about Kellogg's.
Right.
Because they... Oh, see what you did there.
I got it before you did.
I know. There's only one cereal that you'll ever eat ever, and let's face it, it is Kellogg's. Because when you go abroad, I don't know if you're like me, when you go abroad and you try different cereal, it's just not the same.
No, not right at all.
It's not right. It's not right. Anyway, we'll talk about Cocoa Pops later. But anyway, so also today we have, of course, got all the way from a beautiful, wonderful thing called Europride/World Pride. We have got the one and only Steve Taylor. He's coming joining us in a little while's time as well to talk to us. And as if that's not enough, our special guest for this evening is the one and only Ronan Parke. Now, for those of you who don't know who Ronan Parke is, go.
Do you know what? He was one of the runners-up on Britain's Got Talent 2011. He was dead a little then, and now he's all grown up. He's 21 years old, and his music is absolutely fabulous. He's still got an amazing voice, and it's gone from strength to strength. I am so giddy about him coming on later on.
Yeah, so he's going to be on when he arrives, everybody, when he arrives. But I do feel now that our first guest is here, so let's bring in our first guest, everybody, and say hello. How are you, sir?
I'm very well. How are you?
We are doing wonders. How the heck are you?
Good. I'm pleased that you talked about Tony the Tiger, and they're great. You wouldn't be surprised. Everyone says that when I talk to them. Why don't? Yeah.
Well, great. I met him many years ago. I met him at the factory. We were doing a little. I think it was a I have to say, it was up there. It was up there with meeting Mickey Mouse. It really was.
Because not everyone realises that the Frosties are actually made in Manchester, in Trafford Park.
Absolutely. I mean,
Manchester, and like cornflakes, and they're exported all around the world. So, you know, Manchester is the home of Frosties.
I salute it when I go past Trafford Park. It's so brilliant. But Kellogg's has been going since 1938. It's kind of been the biggest factory, isn't it, in Europe since 1938. We love Kellogg's. We've got it here, but we love it even more at the moment because you've done a special thing to your building.
So we have 3 factories in the UK. We have one on a 2 in Wrexham and 1 in Manchester, which I know you're showing a picture of there. And for June, we've decided to light up all our factories in the rainbow colours just to really mark Pride Month. And, you know, we don't pretend that that's going to in any way replace any sort of Pride celebrations, but we have groups for LGBT plus employees, and they all got together and we were like, well, we want to really do something just to show our support for our employees that are LGBT, those people that perhaps are living in lockdown who are LGBT and finding it difficult, but also just to, you know, say we stand with you. So we all came up with the idea, and the factories have lit up. They've been lit up for this month. And our Manchester factory will also light up again over August Bank Holiday, which obviously is where Manchester Pride would normally happen.
Wow.
Now, have you got any employees currently at the factory, or has the cereal station come to a stop?
No, so actually it's really interesting. The food industry is classed as key workers. And obviously we're not saving anyone's lives like the NHS. I'm not going to pretend that. So our factories have been open all the time. And it's actually really easy for social distancing because the factory that you just shown in Manchester is 2.5 times the size of Buckingham Palace. But at any one time, there's only about 100 people working there. So it's actually quite easy to maintain social distance. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Can they dance then whilst doing all the packing of the cereals? I'd be like that going down the street.
I've still got.
But mostly there's so many robots there that you know there aren't actually that many people.
I've still got one thing that I have to tick off on my bucket list, and that is to see a piece of rice turn into a Rice Krispie.
Well, you should let me know and we'll organise a tour. You can see them being made.
That would be
That's
amazing.
magical,
yeah. I'm obsessed with that program called Inside the Factory. And it would be a dream to go inside your factory. So it would be great to get to Kellogg's. Going back, though, to the amazing thing that you're doing with those lights, you know, how important is it as a business? You are great. Kellogg's are great about the inclusivity, but how important is it for other businesses to be that inclusive?
I think, you know, we've been, you know, no business gets it right, do they? And, you know, we've been talking a lot recently about how we can be more, you know, LGBT aware. We've just partnered with Stonewall, who are helping us go through our processes and policies and listen to employees and make sure they're doing the right thing. But, you know, I think everyone spends so much time at work. You want to be somewhere where you feel you can belong. You don't want to have to edit yourself too much at work. You don't want to have to be explaining or covering up what you're doing at the weekend or making an excuse why you have this certain partner or you don't have a partner. So for us, it's just about creating that environment where everyone can just be themselves and rock up to work and be themselves.
Oh, sounds fab.
Kellogg's has always been quite an inclusive place, though, hasn't it? It's been quite an inclusive environment for a number of years now, even going back to, I think, the beginning of the 80s as well.
Yeah, I think we're very lucky. We've been around a long time in Manchester. So you mentioned 1938 when we opened our factory. We've been here ever since our UK HQ as well. We have a head office in Media City in Salford. So we've been around a long time. We've really tried to be part of the community from you know, that day onwards, whether that's helping local breakfast clubs, helping food banks, or just trying to do the right thing by people.
Oh, that's amazing. And I've got to say, if you're going to have the lights on now and you're going to have them back on in August, I'm going to be like a kid at Christmas. I always want the Christmas lights to stay up. I'll be like,
wow.
Keep them forever.
Because we do a massive Christmas light up of the Manchester factory. Hopefully we'll do it this year as well. But we do it for the employees. They turn up, we have fireworks. It's a big thing.
Do you need anyone to switch them on?
We actually did. We built it.
Not far off looking like a cornflake anyway, so it's all good.
Well, you have an invite. You have an invite for sure.
Oh, that's amazing. Do you know what else I want to say? I was thinking about this. Tony in Pride colours.
Yeah. Now, in the States, he does get involved in Pride. He has a little neckerchief. We do his neckerchief in the Pride colours.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
What I've got to ask a question. It's just a food for thought. Snap, crackle and pop. Friends or...
You know, those little cheeky elves, they're just good mates.
Okay, then.
Talking about the cereal, of course, which one is the nation's favourite then out of all that you do? Because we both have favourites. But...
Although, just before you carry on, I have to say, where have Ricicles gone?
Oh, we got rid of them.
Oh, I'm mortified.
I know, I'm sorry about that. About 2 years ago, we decided we're trying to improve the health of our cereals. And it was like the most sugary cereal we had. And so we thought, do you know what? We're going to stop selling it.
That probably explains a lot of my youth and what size I am now. So if anybody wants market research on that, they just need to... I have spent most of my life with semi-skim milk and Ricicles. So there you go.
Paul, ignore this one. What would you say is your favourite then, the nation's favourite?
So a broadcaster who I won't name last year did a survey and it said that Crunchy Nut cornflakes was the nation's favourite cereal. And that's another Manchester. It was actually invented in Manchester 40 years ago this year.
No way.
Wow.
Yeah, and
I'm proud of that.
Cereals, it sells the most and it's made in Manchester. It's the only place in the world that makes Kellogg's Crunchy Nut cornflakes.
My 5-year-old agrees because Harry at home does not like cereal, but oh my goodness, Crunchy Nut cornflakes, give him a bowl of that and he eats it all the time.
And this, of course, all started because of granola. Am I right on that?
Yeah, well, our company and a lot of breakfast cereals started in kind of health craze, the kind of turn of the 19th, 20th century, when vegetarianism was catching on and people were looking for a lighter breakfast. Also, as more people were going out to work, they didn't want to prep a big breakfast before going to work. So that's how Kellogg's invented. Kellogg's was invented in a big health spa in America in 1902.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Yeah. It is. The story is absolutely fantastic.
I was just going to say, the stories of Kellogg's, the actual story of the two brothers as well.
Yes, really interesting characters. They were like pioneers, vegetarian. It's quite unusual if you think about it. They were around in the 1890s, and to have two vegetarians in the 1890s, that's really weird, isn't it? So they were real health pioneers.
Oh.
And they did invent something that is so kind of underrated, but like a necessity and a staple in everybody's life.
Yeah. And what's interesting is when we arrived in the UK in 1922, no one was eating breakfast cereal at all. So the company kind of from the bottom up invented the meal by going and talking to grocers and giving away lots and lots of free food to people and lots of advertising.
Wow. I've got to say, it is the most important meal of the day. If I don't have a good breakfast, then I'm no use or ornament to anybody.
There's nothing better than waking up in the morning and hearing the sound of milk pouring on.
I think we all need a bit of breakfast, whatever it is. We all need something to get us going in the morning, don't we?
Yeah. And what have Kellogg's got coming up? I mean, are there any new cereals that you're planning? Any kind of bits of gossip or, inside information you can give, Paul?
Well, as I said, it's the 40th anniversary of Crunchy Nut this year. So we've got something really special coming up. But I can't tell you now, but I'd love to come back on and tell you in the next kind of couple of months about it.
I'll tell you what we'll do one better. We will come to you.
Oh, come to us. Yeah, we'd love that because it's a really interesting Manchester story as well. So that's an interesting one for you. But also, we've got a really interesting new kids cereal that we've launched this year, which is made of fruit and veg.
Wow.
As in real fruit and veg?
Yeah, fruit and veg. I've got bits of carrot flavouring and things like that in there. And beetroot flavouring.
Is that out, Paul?
Yeah, it's WK Kellogg Kids. It's out. You can buy it. It's because it's new. It's in quite small boxes, but you'll be able to get it in places like Sainsbury's, and Tesco, and Ocado, and things like that.
She's going buying some.
I'm excited. I am. That's it. It's just going to be a great way to get those 5 a day into my kids.
It is one of your 5 a day. So there you go.
Love it.
So the lights outside the factory. Let's show them again. The lights outside the factory. How long are these remaining lit for us now?
The whole month of June, and then the ones in Manchester that you can see there on the screen, they'll be lit up again for August to celebrate when Manchester would have normally had its Pride celebration.
Thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you very much for having me.
Lovely to see you.
Definitely come down to Kellogg soon.
Please do.
Just because I want to, and I think it's an easy way to get in there, basically.
Get that bowl of cereal ready.
Will do. Take care.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. So that was, of course, the one and only, which camera are we on? Over that one, the one and only Mr. Paul Wheeler from Kellogg's, everybody. Isn't that amazing?
Oh, do you know what? 1, he was a lovely man. 2, it was really, really interesting to find out bits about that you don't know about the factories. Of course, I knew that Kellogg's was at Trafford Park, but you don't really know kind of all the stuff that goes on. Now I can just kind of imagine it with the big wide spaces, the robots, that new cereal. I'm down at the shops for that tomorrow.
Now, we are about to bring you our, we're going to bring you something quite unique and new to us, everybody. We are going to be bringing you a little weather forecast. But before we do that, what have we got coming up in the next few weeks?
Oh, in the next few weeks?
Come on, then let's ask you a better question. What would you like in the next few weeks?
I don't know what you're alluding to. Do you know what it is next week, though?
What?
And my birthday.
It's not already.
It is my birthday.
Oh, to be 50.
So I would... Yes, if I'm 50 or 70.
Around one ankle. Yes.
No, but yeah, it's next week. So I take it you haven't got me a card, you haven't got me a present. You're going to have time to go out again.
You know, you just mentioned your birthday, and I did just take the mix slightly out of your age, but I do actually know what I was looking for when I was thinking about. We're going to be doing a special on the thing called Silver Pride, everybody. And that's a pride for the over 50s, everybody. And we are going to be doing a special on that. This segues amazing in a few weeks' time. But in the meantime, though, look outside now if you are in Manchester. It is raining.
Yeah.
But let's take a look and have a quick word with our brand new weather forecaster, Paul Rudd, to see exactly what the weather's going to be like for this weekend.
It's going to put a smile on your face, even if it's raining.
Here we go with that VT.
Yes, thank you, Shel. Thank you, Belle, and welcome to this week's weather forecast, only for you here on Your Manchester. And I'm Paul Rudd. Now, we haven't had the best of weeks, have we? And you want to know what the rest of the week is going to look like. Well, on Thursday, it's going to be a little bit cloudy. Friday, rain with a little bit clouds as well. But as we head over to the weekend, it's going to be sunny. Yes, the sun's going to come out and have his hat on. Hip, 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 hooray. So keep coming back and checking the weather. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back next week with more weather forecasts, only for you guys, right here for Your Manchester.
We're on that one again now over there.
It was absolutely, that was so lovely to see Paul. Paul has been watching the show for 2 years now, for as long as we've been going.
He's a staunch supporter.
He is, absolutely. And that was his first weather report for us. And I tell you what, I'm jealous of his garden.
You're jealous of his garden?
Yeah, it was lush, it was green, it was huge.
Well, the good news is we're going to have nice weather at the weekend as well.
Absolutely. Saturday is going to be nice, which is good.
Now, a lot of these weather things would have been sort of tied in to events that are meant to be happening around Manchester. Sadly, a lot of the events aren't happening. But we are now going to bring in our next guest. He's all the way from Europride/World Pride. And he's got very important messages to talk to us about. So let's bring in our second guest. This is the one and only Mr. Steve Taylor. Hello, Steve. How are you?
Good evening. I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
I'm all right. We're just going to look at the other camera in the hope that it changes so we look like we're actually organised.
Oh, Steve, so where are you in your house? Because I'm loving this at the moment. We do all these kind of video calls and you look like you've got a plethora of books behind you. Is this your office?
No, I'm at home in Copenhagen in Denmark.
Fantastic. Wow. Thank you for joining us from so far away. Tell us a little bit about what we can expect now, because obviously things have changed for Europride.
Well, it's not really about Europride. It's more about the prides all around the world. So at the last count, about more than 500 prides around the world have been postponed or cancelled because of COVID-19. And so about 3 months ago, the international pride organizations came together and said, why don't we ask all of our members, the prides on the ground, such as Manchester Pride, to give us content that we can merge together on the 27th of June, which historically is always the main Pride weekend globally. And we'll show a live stream of 24 hours of music, speeches, artists, various different types of entertainment. And it was a hugely ambitious idea, and we almost binned the idea several times over. But actually, we've now got to the stage where we've got A-list artists, we've got major world leaders, presidents, prime ministers, royalty, and Mel C, all taking part in this incredible event that's in 10 days' time and free to watch on YouTube wherever you are in the world.
So who can we expect to be seen on the lineup then?
So the artists that we've announced so far, and there are still more to come, Todrick Hall is our host on YouTube. We've got Adam Lambert, we've got Kira, we've got Village People, Mel C, Leanne Rimes, Pussycat Doll, Callum Scott, Natasha Bedingfield, Olivia Newton-John, Stephen Fry, Joanna Lumley, Leslie Jordan, Rita Ora. And then from the world of politics, we've got the former US Vice President Joe Biden, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. We've got Prime Ministers of Norway, Luxembourg. We've got the Crown Princess from here in Denmark. It's an incredible lineup. But in addition to that, we've got content from more than 500 prides around the world. More than 500 prides have sent in content, ranging from drag queens to speakers to shout outs. It's going to be an incredible show. It's going to be the world's biggest ever pride, which is pretty
so exciting. You look really lively, and if you put all that content together, my God, you should be having a lie down right now.
Well, it's not just me. We've got a team of 100 volunteers, literally from West Coast USA to New Zealand, who are working around the clock like you wouldn't believe to get this thing on the road and to make it happen. We've had incredible support from organizations like YouTube, and and the show has to be seen to be believed. It's really quite an amazing thing. But it's not just me. And if I'm looking a bit lively, it's because I left work this afternoon and I went and had a beer and had dinner with my partner and rushed home to be here for you.
We love it. Thank you.
You're an hour behind or an hour in front? Which are you?
I'm an hour ahead.
An hour ahead.
Yeah.
So it's dark there already.
Yeah.
And is that?
No, it's because don't forget it's Scandinavia, so it's the land of the midnight sun. It's still bright light outside.
We've got terrible rain here. What's the weather like there?
It's been glorious. It's been glorious throughout the last 2 weeks. But then it's Manchester. It wouldn't be Manchester if it wasn't raining.
Of course not. Now, tell us what time this actually kicks off, because you said it's 24 hours, did you say, of content? So when can we start watching on the 27th?
So, because obviously we're covering time zones, we're covering actually 48 hours of time zones.
Wow.
We're actually going to be watching in the UK from Friday evening on the 26th of June through to Saturday evening.
Right.
And the main content from Europe, including the UK, is going to be broadcast in the early afternoon on the Saturday. We're just waiting to finalise that. But in the next few days, if you go to globalpride2020.org or on social media at globalpride2020, you can see the times that we're expecting to broadcast content from each country. And there'll also be what we're calling the main stage hour, when you'll see super A-list artists, world leaders. That's when their performances will be taking place. And that's likely for people in the UK to be early on Saturday evening. So get your friends together, have a watch party, have your social bubble, have a watch party, get people together, or even just watch together on Zoom.
Yeah.
I've got to ask you, the world leaders that you've got involved, obviously there's a lot of them from the politics world. How have you gone about getting them involved? Because normally they're either there or there. They're very rarely up front and forward for everything, aren't they?
Absolutely. And the brilliant thing about this event is that we have provided, as the international Pride organisations, we've provided the framework through which the event can happen. But the hard work in terms of getting these artists and getting the world leaders has come from the Pride organisations on the ground. So my day job, I'm Director of Communications for Copenhagen 2021, which is World Pride and Eurogames here in Denmark next year. We got the Crown Princess of Denmark to take part and to record a speech. And then that content has been given to Global Pride. So where we've got world leaders, it's absolutely thanks to the Prides on the ground who've done all the work and got those artists. And we'll be crediting them on the day, and we'll be making sure that everybody knows exactly who did that work. Because it wasn't us getting those artists, it was the Prides themselves.
I mean, I know you said at the start of this, it is such a shame that these Prides aren't physically taking place. But my God, this is totally the next big best thing, isn't it? I mean, in fact, it sounds epic. It sounds like a real treat for people, and very much that you can still feel that we can get involved and have a great time and celebrate, the community, which is, what it's all about.
Do you think that this is the way that Prides could go then?
Yeah.
Streaming.
Somebody sent me an email yesterday and said, "Oh, I know we're too late for this year, but can we be a part of Global Pride next year?" And I ran to the hills screaming, because we can't do this 2 years on the go. we can't have Pride this year in most places, and nothing can ever replace that physical experience. Whether you're on Canal Street or you're on Oxford Street or you're in San Francisco, nothing can replace that experience. But this is the best we can do in the circumstances. I think the really good thing about this is that the really good thing about this year is that it's going to force most Prides to think, well, hang on, in 2020, we delivered that bit of our Pride online. Why can't we do that every year? And the really key thing for me with Global Pride is that if you're not out, if you're scared about telling your parents or telling your family and friends, whether you're living in Bolton or whether you're living in the middle of Africa, in a country where it's illegal to be LGBTI, you can tune in and you can see Pride and you can experience Pride for the first time. And if we can get more Pride next year and in future years to think, how can we reach people digitally who aren't feeling safe enough or brave enough to come to Pride in person, then that's a massive thing that Global Pride this year will show Prides they can do in future.
Like you say, I think that's been a really positive thing that will come out of it. We are actually feeling the love here, so much so that our light is strobing in readiness for an amazing prize. So our light is going on and off at the moment. I'm just going to ask you while we saw our lights out, you mentioned Olivia Newton-John then. I was like in awe. I cannot believe you've got Olivia Newton-John. That's going to be amazing. But who are you most looking forward to on that lineup to seeing?
Oh my God. I mean, there's so many on there. I mean, Olivia Newton-John to me was the one that, she was the first one when I saw.
The one that you wanted.
She was the first one that I thought, oh my God. But there are so many. I'm still holding out a faint hope that our friends at Stockholm Pride might get ABBA. I think it's unlikely, but I'm an optimist, so I'm hoping that might happen.
I'd be giddy. I'd be giddy. So once again, when's this all happening and where can we find it?
So it's happening on Saturday, the 27th of June, but it's likely for people in the UK, it's likely to start actually in the evening on Friday, the 26th. You can tune in live on Todrick Hall's YouTube channel or at globalpride2020.org or on at globalpride2020 on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
It's
fabulous.
Amazing. Steve Taylor, thanks so much for coming in today and talking to us. I can't wait for it.
I know.
I will have to stock up in a bit of Red Bull so I can stay awake for it.
Yeah.
But we'll be grand.
You and me both.
Have a lovely Pride. Take care.
And you. Happy Pride.
Thank you. Right then, let's quickly look at the comments from today, everybody. Let's bring the comments up before we bring our special guest in. I'm giddy.
Oh, we've got some lovely people that have tuned in. Stuart, we've got Paul.
Yeah.
Mandy from Texas. She's a darling, isn't she?
Absolutely. Of course, we are streaming also to Canal Street Manchester today, and the full story for everything that we've been talking about today is on there as well. Let's bring a few up on the screen. Let's first bring up Paul Rudd, and his response to everything. I
think that may have been the response to his weather report.
Absolutely.
I think as well, Mandy was saying about how the studio looks really good, the building, because I don't think many people have seen our building for a while, and the new backdrop. So we're loving being back. It's great.
Drew Santlings, I think his name is. Is this live? Yes, it's very much live, Flower. Hence why the light's just blown up and everything's coming a bit pear-shaped.
It wouldn't be the same if something didn't go wrong.
Correctly.
Right.
We've got loads still more to come together, and we really, really have. And like I say, we are prepping already for a few specials, of course. And we've still got, can you believe it? We've still got our live show with an audience to fully get around to.
Oh, do you know, that was a sold-out show at Hope Mill, and we can't wait to bring that to you because it is going to be very exciting. And do you know what? Hopefully it'll be a nice end towards the year because, you know, it should.
We might do it for Christmas.
That'd be great.
We'll have to ask the guys at Hope Mill because at the moment we've got it's a sold-out show waiting to be done and we're not even there.
I know.
One person that knows all about sold-out shows is joining us now, though. Now, you might recognise him from many, many years ago. What year was that?
Oh, 2011. Oh, my goodness.
2011.
9 years ago.
And this is, of course, the one and only Ronan Parke. Hello, Ronan.
Hello. How are you both?
Hey.
Oh, I took a breath in then. I didn't think we could hear you, but we can. Where are you? You look very, very nice and chilled and relaxed.
I am. I'm just at home, which is where I'm from.
Yes.
So I'm chilling. I'm enjoying the sunshine.
Oh, fantastic. Now, we mentioned there, obviously, you rising to fame back in 2011. Nearly 10 years ago, you did your audition for Britain's Got Talent and was the runner-up that year. How did that change your life all those years ago?
I think, I was 12 when I was on the show, and I was always just a little kid that loved to sing, and I never had any expectations going into the show. And then it literally was this overnight change, and everybody says your life changes overnight after a talent show, and I always find that a really cringy thing to say, but it was very true. Everything just changed. You know, I was getting to do what every single day of my life, and I'm really grateful for that. So yeah, it was it was a case of just singing in my bedroom to singing on stages in front of people, which was a real change for me. So yeah, lots has changed since that.
Things are changing though. You've kind of grown up in front of the public, haven't you? How's that been for you?
You know, I think it's been really, really, really nice. There's always this question of, you know, people saying, should young people be on these talent shows? But I think that it helped me mature a lot and quickly. And I'm really grateful for that, because of the industry that I'm choosing to be in. You have to be mature and grown up to be in this industry and have thick skin. And I think from doing that from such a young age, that really taught me to just grow up and be mature and roll with the punches. So I think it was a real benefit.
And sometimes it could be when you have that fame so early that you change career paths, but you haven't. In fact, you've gone from strength to strength with your music. Your voice is incredible, and you know, you keep making these fantastic songs. What is the ultimate for you? Because I've heard some of your songs, you know, and you love Gaga. You are a big fan of Lady Gaga. You also like musical theatre, though. What would you prefer to go into if you had the choice? You're even presenting at the moment on your YouTube channel.
I mean, I think that I've always put so much pressure on trying to find one particular lane. But I think when you're so passionate about music and performing, there's so many lanes that you can go down. And I think I've just decided that it's like anything that's going to make me happy and that I'm going to enjoy, I'm going to do. And at this age, you know, I'm 21 and I've experienced so much from 12 years old, but there's still so much more to experience. So when it comes to musical theatre or pop music or presenting, you know, there's so many things that will help me grow as a performer and as an artist. I'm just going to take on as many things as I can.
And the songs that you write and that you're performing at the moment, especially the ones that you're creating yourself, they've got a very mature heart to them. So how do you go about writing a song like that?
Well, so my most recent album, which I guess was released in end of 2018, I think. That was all other songwriters that came in and did that. So I'm only really focused on songwriting now. But the songs that were on my album at that time, that was all everything that I connected to. So, and I think that's what music is all about. You want to be able to connect to the songs and to the lyrics and everything. You want it to make you feel a certain type of way, and as an artist, you want people to listen to it and feel a certain way, that you want them to kind of relay the words and the meanings to their own experiences. So that's, I guess, the same way that I look when I write songs. So that's really what it's about for me, is I always want it to make people feel a certain kind of way. I want them to, you know, experience their own feelings in the song. I want everybody to relate to it. And that was, you know, with my most recent album, it was all a completely gender neutral album, because I feel it's really important that people get to connect with it in their own way. I think a lot of the time people can, you know, add genders to songs, which is great. You know, some of the biggest songs have obviously got genders in there, but I think that it's really important that people just, without this kind of instant, oh, this is who it's about, you want people to feel their own kind of way about it.
I have to say, I've been thinking about kind of musicians and songwriters during lockdown and how that might affect them and their work going forward. Have you felt that when you've been writing during lockdown?
It's been a very interesting time, as I'm sure it has been for so many performers. I was supposed to be going on a UK and US tour that has all been cancelled, and then there were lots of European gigs in there as well, and they've all been cancelled. So it's been a really tough time, as I'm sure it has been for every performer, really. But I think this time has also been a really nice time to reflect and think about what you want to do and what makes you happy. And it's been a great chance for me to really prepare for next year and figure out where I want to go, what I want to be doing, what kind of music I want to make, and what lane I want to be going down, or numerous lanes I want to be going. And I think it's been a nice preparation time for me personally.
Lovely.
And it hasn't completely stopped you performing because come this Saturday, you are going to be doing Salford Pride. You're performing at Salford Pride's virtual Pink Picnic. Are you excited?
I can't wait. It's great. I'm so happy to see. I think so many people, especially in the LGBTQ plus community, I think so many people have felt that with everything that's going on, you know, Pride Month is not the same as it usually is, but at the same time there's so much to still be fighting for, and it's still so incredibly important that we celebrate this month and we use this month to really talk about the topics that we need to be speaking about. So I'm so pleased that Salford Pride have gone ahead with doing a virtual Pride. It's something very different, but I'm so excited to be involved, and I can't wait for everyone to see it. They've got some amazing performers lined up, so
And do you know what time you're on at all?
I have no idea.
They'll just ring you and say you're on now. Go for it.
I have no idea, but I think it goes on from about 6 p.m.
Yeah.
It does. I hope you know what you're singing, though.
Yeah, I do. You
know what I still want to see, and I don't know if it's even physically possible to do, but I'd like to see, now that you're all grown up, I'd like to see you doing a duet with your former self, a bit like what Alan Jones did with himself a few years back with Walking in the Air. I think you should try doing that, Ronan.
Yeah, I've never thought about that. That would actually be really fun.
I've also done a duet with myself in different guises as well. That always kind of works. Have you done a duet with yourself?
You know I can't sing. This is a standing joke. I just can't sing, Ronan. So, you know, yeah.
You can sing. You've got a lovely voice.
Yeah, in the shower.
Yeah.
Going back to your voice, how would you say it has developed over the years? Yeah, has your style changed? And the artists that you like? I know I mentioned Gaga before. I know you've always been a fan, but have you seen differences?
I've definitely noticed a difference in my voice in general, just because of, you know, my voice developing as it does when you grow old. But my music, my interests have never really changed. I grew up with song music. That was always my go-to. That was what I listened to when I was growing up. My mum always had soul music playing in the house, and I always feel that whenever I make music, I always want there to be an element of soul in everything that I do, because I just think it's such a beautiful style of music. And I think as well, I always have wanted music that I create, I want it to speak to people, and I want people to be able to relate to the words or to the song. Everybody goes through certain experiences in their lives, and I really like the idea. I think music is really all about people connecting. So that's always been my kind of incentive when creating music. I want people to be able to connect to it, and that's never really changed. So I guess the only thing that's changed from when I was on the show is just my voice getting a bit deeper.
I think just how well known around the world you are. I mean, as much as you're a homegrown talent to us, and obviously you've hailed from the program Britain's Got Talent, you are loved around the world, and we've got some messages from various people. We've got one, let's bring them in individually. Yeah, from there. Let's bring that in first of all, and we've got somebody that says they loved the last album, Ronan.
Oh, thank you so much.
We had somebody just before that said something as well. Where was that? From Axel. Axel said, what did Axel say? Absolutely marvellous. And so we've got so many comments. If we did all of them, we'd be a tour.
I know. But you have performed all over the world, haven't you? Where has been your favourite place to actually perform live?
You know, I did my first Pride last year. And then I ended up doing a European Pride tour last year. And it was the first time I ever even attended a Pride, let alone performed at one. And the feeling there and the whole experience was so special. And I think because, you know, being out and being very, very proud and just kind of experiencing that for the first time and being on a stage where there's just so much love and there's no judgment and there's you know, it's pure love and everybody's just having a great time and celebrating. I think the Prides have been so special to me because it's just been a really amazing moment to stand on a stage and be completely yourself and not feel scared or worried that, you know, there's going to be certain people in the audience that aren't going to accept you, or they're not going to quite like certain things. Everybody's so accepting and everybody's so happy to be there. And I think that's such a special moment for everybody that is involved in prides. So I love my prides, I have to say.
And why wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
Why wouldn't you? And of course, you're doing the virtual one this Saturday.
Yes.
And it's all going to be amazing, isn't it?
We will be tuning in, definitely. So we're very excited.
When we come out of lockdown, what have you got planned? Anything that we should know about?
So I'm hoping to tour next year. So my tour that was planned this year, I'm working on rescheduling it for next year. So hopefully next summer will be a big tour in the UK, around some places in Europe, so in the US, which is quite different for me because I haven't ever performed in the US before. I've recorded, I've traveled there, but I've never performed there. So I'm hoping to reschedule everything that was planned in the UK this year for next year. And then I'll be recording some music next year. I'm planning to go out to the US to record some more music, so that will all be rescheduled for next year. So hopefully next year will be busy. I'm also working with a new musical theatre agent, so hopefully you'll see me in some musical theatre productions. So I just
we love our musical theatre. It's all very exciting. But before you go, I do have to ask you that today it was announced that Britain's Got Talent final isn't going to have an audience this year for the first time because, of course, of the effects of COVID.
Well, that's going to be bobbins, isn't it?
What would that have been like for you if you hadn't had an audience back then?
Honestly, it would have been better.
Oh, a good thing.
It's so nerve-wracking, the judges there, let alone the child. So I think it's going to be great for the contestants.
If they invited you back to do a Champions of Champions scenario, would you go back?
I was in contact with them last year, which was amazing. It was great to be back in contact with them. I've been back a couple of times and I've loved it. I just think everything has to be, timing has to be right. So who knows? I'd definitely be open to it. But yeah, timing has to be right.
Thank you so much for coming to see us today, Ronan. It's really been a privilege to meet you. And I am very proud of the way that you've grown up to be such a wonderful gentleman, sir. So that's very nice to see.
You are lovely. Take care.
Thank you, you too.
Hi, everybody.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride. Yes, indeed. Well, there we are, everybody. Which way am I at? Let's go to that one. Let's be tricky. Whoa. There we go. Oh, look at that. There we are. Technology.
That was smooth.
That was all right, wasn't it?
Oh, do you know what? It's great. I have to say, I am buzzing.
Are you buzzing?
I'm buzzing. I wish I could go out to a nightclub or a pub, but they're not open yet.
Michelle makes me very tidy in the studio. She makes me put everything in just a place. And I've had to have my water bottle next to me because we'd been nervous today and my mouth would run out. And it has done it. All my lip gloss is dried.
It was like doing the very first show, which was 2 years ago now.
Well, it was a little bit more organised than doing the very first show.
A nicer set. But honestly, the company has been just as amazing.
It's been lovely seeing you, Flower.
It has been great.
Next week, we've got a whole host of guests for you. So
and don't forget, it's my birthday.
It's your birthday. Yeah, you won't see mine again for another year, will we? We are going to be looking at, of course, doing our wonderful Pride special that's coming your way, our Silver Pride special that's coming your way very, very soon. We've also got our live show, and we probably will need more tickets after we've done all this.
Yeah.
I tell you.
That's good.
It's good, isn't it? Also, what have we got coming next? I know what's coming, I just can't remember. And this is why we have cue cards, and you always make yourself write on them, and I'm still
I just like to test you, Belinda. But you know what? You know it's going to be another fabulous show. It is so good that you've been so loyal to us over the past few weeks. We are back in the studio. It's bloody brilliant.
It is. Well, we can do it for the first time now, can't we?
And from now on, we are fully live. So it's up to you to get involved. We love hearing your comments, and we couldn't do this show without you. So please keep them coming. Please keep watching. And if you ever miss it, you can watch it back again. And share to people.
Share the way. Let's just have a few more comments. Let's quickly go to this camera because I see quite a few people.
Oh, we have.
We have got
first time watching tonight.
Lisa,
Lizzie Rudd. Oh, thank you so much.
Brilliant.
Who else have we got?
Mexico loves you. Not us, obviously. That's Ronan Parke. And Lynn Marie has done something very special for you as well.
Oh,
she has
fantastic.
said, "Happy birthday!"
Yay! I've got an early birthday wish because my birthday is still going to be in lockdown.
Yeah, so was mine. And back to the camera. Boom, like that. Well, thanks everybody for watching this evening's show. You all have been fantastic. And I suppose we just sign out the way that we used to.
Oh, yeah,
Social
gosh.
distance, social distance.
Hey,
Social
hey,
distance. Are
hey.
you
I
ready?
know, keep your distance.
Thanks everybody for watching and taking time to watch this week's episode of
Your Manchester. See ya.
Oh,
I love that.
It was all right.
It was
Yeah, it's very
brilliant.
good. Yeah.
Good to be back.
Good to be back.